Welcome to the Bells and Whistle Show in association Originals, Reg 31 and Safer Training Solutions. I'm back, it's your boy Nando. Alongside me is the big man Chiz, and we have some special guests in the building. We have K Prosphere, Xavier Miller and Santos. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hello guys.
Thank you so much for coming down, guys. How are you guys doing tonight?
I'm really good.
Yeah, good man. Looking forward to this interview.
Fantastic. For the listeners who don't know much about you guys, K, will you tell us who you are?
Okay, well yeah, my name's K Prosphere. I'm a super lightweight from Luton Town. I've had 14 fights, 13 wins, 1 loss and 1 draw. My last fight was for the English title, which ended up being a draw, and now I've got a rematch on September 7th. So yeah, coming for titles.
Xavier, will you tell the listeners who you are?
Yeah, my name is Xavier Miller. I'm part owner of IQ Boxing Club with my partner Nicholas Prempeh. I've run an amateur boxing club for a number of years now. I've developed some pros, and we're just working towards titles now. It's been a long journey, but we're here now.
That's great. Kay, what got you into boxing?
So what happened was me and my cousin Paul Webb, we're hail from Luton and it's got some deprived areas. So I was 21 at the time, and we thought to ourselves, let's set up a boxing club so we can help out the kids in the local area. So we was fortunate enough to do that, and it's still run to this day. Shout out to K and Xavs Boxing Club. But then, do you know what? Once you start getting involved in the sport, it's like a bug, like it just catches fire. So I started to do a bit of training, and I just thought to myself, let me have an amateur fight. Next you know, 20 fights in, 30 fights in, and I just said, yeah, let's turn pro now. So
fantastic.
It wasn't really the main aim at first wasn't to really be a boxer, it was just to help out the youth in the area. But the sport just catches you, so yeah, out to Hopper Ring and my cousin Paul Webb.
That's great. Do you believe that grassroots boxing, even any sport, can help the youth of today to get off the streets, away from the life of crime, and help them with even mental health issues and so on?
So much like grassroots and sport in general, it has the ability to capture young hearts and minds. A lot of them out there have got misdirection, so organisations and provisions that allow kids to focus and channel their energy, and to have role models that show them like this is actually a positive light, it's more to life than just some stuff they see on the streets. I've got a football club as well in Luton called Luton Nations that also has a lot of kids that could be doing other things other than playing sport. I just think more time and investment that's put into stuff like this is just a beneficial thing for the kids in the future.
That's fantastic. Xavier, what got you into boxing? How long you been in the boxing industry?
A long time. Lucky enough, when I was at school, there was a boxing program. It didn't last very long because I was the only person that turned up. But that coach decided to train me on my own, and unfortunately I couldn't get a pro license due to medical reasons, so I started getting more heavily involved in coaching. Met a couple of really interesting people along the way, 2 coaches, formerly All-Stars coaches, Earl Austin and Ken Thomas, and they kind of got me back into the physical side of boxing, but I was just studying, I mean like every single day, studying boxing for hours on VHS tapes. I just started with BMX actually, that's how far we're going back. And then I met my business partner Nick, and we worked in the same school, and we came up with the concept of IQ Boxing, and then we found the building in Neasden, built up an amateur boxing club, and we're here now. That's a short version, is it?
Yeah.
I'll be here a long time if I explained it all, but that's a short version.
So when you was watching the VHSs, was there any boxer or any coach back then that inspired you?
Yeah, I mean my uncle Derek McCoy, he's the one that actually got me into boxing. He told me what boxers to watch, and the kind of boxers that I liked, the trainers were the same. I liked Georgie Benton, I liked Manny Stewart. I've got videotapes of them, you know, like in a few years' time I'm going to put them out on YouTube, but I've got so much footage of the stuff that I used to study back then, and I used to pick up my boxing gear and go to different gyms and practice what I'd seen. Sometimes I'd just go on my own. Used to go to different gyms, spar. They used to say, oh, you know, you're really good, can you come back next week? But I did what I wanted to do at that gym, and I travelled as far as going to Liverpool, Birmingham. I just wanted to put it into practice. So that was my hobby at the time.
That's great. How many boxers are you training at the moment?
At the moment, we've got about 25 to 30 amateurs, and we've currently got about 14 professional boxers.
Wow. It must take up a lot of your time then.
All my time. I had to retire from education. I was in education for years. I retired from education about 2-3 years ago, and this has been my full-time job. But this was always going to be the journey.
But you do something that you love, so that's the important thing.
Yep.
You wake up and you're looking forward to.
Yeah. I wake up happy every day.
That's good.
It's what I've always wanted to do.
And same question that I asked Kay, do you believe as well the grassroots side and boxing gyms, football clubs can get kids off the street and away from crime and help with mental health issues, etc.?
100%. I mean, the reason why I started work in education because I wanted to get young kids off the street. And the same with the boxing. With my business partner, that was part of the business plan, was to have a boxing gym and try and get the youth involved in boxing. It's not just that, we also have a homework club as well, and we have the junior start from 11 to up to 17, then we've got a senior class, so we're doing our part in our community.
That's good. If there's any listeners right now that want to get involved and seem interested, how can they get involved?
Yeah, I mean, the website is neasdenboxingclub.com, and all the information is there. Me and my business partner numbers on there, so you can call us, ask us about anything.
That's fantastic. You can even see it on the Bells and Whistles Instagram at Bells and Whistles. We will put that up after the show as well. Okay, who inspired you into boxing? Is there a particular boxer that inspired you, like a role model? Like a favourite boxer?
When I was starting off in boxing, obviously I was quite late in my age, so there was a few good fighters around at the time, Mayweather, but then there was a few fighters in Luton, because Luton's got a good heritage of boxers, so I knew about Graham Mel and I knew about Billy Schwer, so I thought to myself, do you know what, if people from my own town can get to a level of this kind of stature, then I can do the same. So it's just people really that was around me that really inspired me, really, people that I actually had contact with. And I think that really helps. If you can actually see it and touch it, then you can believe it can happen. You look on TV sometimes and you just think, oh, that can't be me. But there's someone who is literally walking down the street and he's made it in the sport or he's made it in life, you think you can achieve it. So, yeah, shout out to Billy Schwer and Graham Mel from Luton. Fantastic.
Let's move on to your opponent, Sam Mason. Sam
Dirty Mason.
So I had a few friends that came to the first fight.
Yes.
And they've all said the same thing. It should have been a W for you.
I think so.
It should have been. It was a controversial draw.
Yes.
You should be having the belt in the studio. Yeah.
Parading it around in my own time.
But you will be parading it in here when you win.
After the 7th, I'm going to be in here and I'm going to have the belt around my waist.
That's right.
And you know what? Shouts, respect to Sam, but it's my time now. I want this. After the defeat, I was upset. Everyone was there seeing I was in bits, and I've used that I bought it up, and I've used that in this camp, and I've had the best camp of my life. You can all say, boxers always say, I'm in the shape of my life, but I've got so much more on board that's been able to prove to me. I've been doing sports testing, I've been doing my strength, everything's just been ticking, everything saying that I'm the best I've ever been. So unless he brings something different, it's going to be convincing me to myself.
How have you prepared for this fight compared to the first?
Do you know what it is? Obviously, when you have an opponent, you see videos and see footage, but you don't know what they've actually got until you feel it. Like Sam's got pop in his punches, and I thought he was going to have a punch, but you don't realise what he's got until you felt the punch. And I know his mechanisms, I know how he moves. Yes, he can come with a different style, but you can't change the person who he is. He's still going to have the same mechanisms, and I think the fact now I know what he's going to bring to the table, I'm going to be able to make every adjustment. I've made every adjustment, and I'm going to be able to make it a convincing thing to myself.
How have you visualised this? Have you visualised, I'm just going to win and take his belt, or are you going to go for the stoppage this time?
Always go in there confident I can get a stoppage, because I do believe in my power. But to be fair, this was a lot more before I come to IQ, because I've been with IQ for 3 or 4 fights now. I've kind of banked on my power a bit too much, but I've still got that in a belief that I can stop anyone that I'm going there with. But you know what? We've got a game plan. I'm just going to execute. I'm just going to execute the game plan. But I believe that I'll get stoppage. I just believe it. I feel like his style and what I possess really should end up in a KO win to myself.
Fantastic. Coach, how's the preparation going?
Really good. I mean, it's difficult when you take on a fighter from another gym. K signed to Steve Goodwin, that's his manager, and his manager said, well, I think you should go to Xav and see how you get on. The first fight was amazing against Nathan Weeks. K performed really well. It was a really good camp. And again, he's gone. When I met K, he said he wants to go for the English title. He knew who he wanted to fight. And the fight with Sam, the first one was a great fight, very close. I'm not the kind to complain about decisions. I thought K had it by a round, but if I've had it that close, then you can't really complain with a draw. It just means that we've got to go back this time, make a few adjustments, which K's done, and it's been a really, really good camp. I mean, K is one of the best boxers I've worked with, and I've been in boxing a long, long time. He's one of the best I've actually worked with, because he's just got so much ability. He's got power in both hands, he's athletic, he can fight southpaw, fight orthodox, he can fight going forward, fight going back. He has everything. But, in these big fights, you have to perform under the bright lights. You've got to put it together on the day. And as long as he does that, I don't see Sam getting close to him this time at all. I think K should really be winning pretty convincingly. That's what I see.
Have you done anything different in the training regime for him compared to the first fight?
No, I mean the only adjustment I've made really is the sparring has been a lot more tailored. But apart from that, it feels like the last camp we've worked hard. K always worked hard. He's always in good condition, always pushes himself to the limit. I've got to tell him, okay, that's enough, walk down. He wants to keep going. But at this stage, you have to train smart.
Yeah.
Not always just hard. You have to train smart. But I'm looking forward to a really good fight.
So if our listeners want to attend this fight on the 7th of September at your call, how can they get tickets for this fight?
Yeah, well, on all my handles, K_Prosphere, Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Ticket links are there, or message me direct. And there's tickets on sale still.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and also you can contact Santos, who is K's advisor, agent. He helps out with a lot of the ticket sales and organising things, getting to the venue on time and making sure K's comfortable, making sure he's got everything that he needs. So he's a major part of the training camp as well. So do you want to give out your social media? Just contact Santos tickets.
Santos.ceo.
So Santos, I haven't asked you anything. So do you have anything to say about this up-and-coming fight? Anything about the way K's training? What's the aim of for the fight and even after the fight? I know we shouldn't look past our opponents, as AJ proved that, but
No, I just think this time K's we're not going to leave it to chance. We're just going to go in there and just handle business as usual, and then after that the team will sit down and see what's next. But right now the focus mainly is September 7th, and that's it.
That's the smart thing to do. But I will add something. I did look something up just so that after the fight you can look at the British title is vacant. Just saying. I'm just saying, guys.
And like I said, this fight is a British eliminator, so winning this fight will put me right in line to fight for it. So,
do you know who else is in line for that title? Is there anyone else that's fighting for another eliminator to?
I don't think there is. I've not seen anything on the boxing board. So if I'm the only one that's had an eliminator, my name should really be first on the list.
Yeah.
There's likes of Glenfoot, there's Philip Bowles. I'm not even going to call out names and start looking past Sam and Mason.
Of course not.
There's opportunities.
Okay. For the future, what's a dream venue for you to fight at? A dream venue where you can fight for a world title?
Kenilworth Road. Shout out to Luton Town Football Club.
Fantastic.
Do you know what? I would love to fight. I don't think there could be anything better than that for me personally. Like that would tick all my boxes.
Of course. Kind of like when Bellew won the world title,
at Everton,
at Goodison Park.
Yeah, Goodison Park. So don't get me wrong. I boxed at the O2. That was amazing. I've never boxed abroad, so going abroad and boxing at Madison Square Garden, all these things are amazing and almost unthinkable at the minute, but just boxing at a full Kenilworth Road or maybe their new stadium, it would just be a dream come true. So let's see how it goes.
I hope it comes true for you.
Appreciate
I really
that so
do.
much.
Guys, I want to talk about a couple of boxing, what's going on in the boxing world right now.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about AJ and Ruiz real quick. So it got reported today that Ruiz finally agreed to fight in Saudi Arabia. $9 million.
I thought it'd get a bit more, to be fair.
I thought that as well. I think he's getting ripped off a bit. As a world champion, you should be getting a lot more.
Yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the likes of Joseph Parker got more to fight AJ.
Yeah.
He didn't even have. Well, he had a belt, but this guy's got 3 belts now, so it's a bit.
She really put all the shots.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this whole? Even though he's the champion, he's not allowed to pick the venue, and the fact that it's in, out of all places, Saudi Arabia.
My views are simple, really. It depends what he signed up for.
Yeah.
I don't know what was included in that rematch contract. I don't know. So we can't really speculate and say exactly what it is. I mean, it sounds like he should have got a better deal, but at the same time, my mindset as a fighter would be, I'll beat you again, and then next time you've got to pay me. You know?
Yeah, I agree. I think for them to have so much leeway, for Eddie and AJ to have so much leeway, there must be something in the contract that's stopped Ruiz from really having much say, even though he tried to dig his heels in.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's kind of a bang to rights, really. So. But I think it's a massive fight, and whether it be in America, Mexico, England, people just support the fight, and
of course, it'll be a huge fight.
It'll be a huge fight, yeah.
And if AJ pulls it out of the bag, I believe there'll be a trilogy.
Yeah.
It deserves a trilogy.
I'd watch it.
For sure. The other thing is, so Xavier, I want your opinion on this. So Spencer Fearon came onto the show, and he got Lennox Lewis on speakerphone. And you guys, whoever didn't see that, can go on our YouTube page at Bells and Whistles Sport. You could see the Spencer Fearon interview. So he asked live on the show if AJ was to call Lennox Lewis and ask for his help, because there's no one better than to come back from a loss and to win a rematch. Lewis said, I'd be willing to help him. Now AJ came out on Sky Sports and called him a clown, and the whole Twitter erupted and said that he basically disrespected him by just calling him a clown. Now Lewis has been going after AJ for a while, and Spencer Fearon broke it down and said that apparently before the Olympics AJ went to Lewis's house in Jamaica, stayed with his family, and then Lewis was with PBC, and AJ decided to go with Matchroom. So when AJ, and he was a bit bitter because of that. Now when AJ beat Klitschko, Lewis was meant to go to the back to say congratulations, but he wasn't allowed in, and that's how it started. But do you believe, after everything that Lewis has been saying about AJ in the last 2-3 years, and AJ finally just responds and says you're a clown, do you think that's disrespectful?
From what I've heard, I would say they're equally to blame. I think they could handle this situation a lot more professional.
Yeah.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Of course.
Once you're in the spotlight, you have to be open. You know, that's just the nature of the business. You know, you've got to be able to take constructive criticism and negative criticism. That's just the way it is.
Of course.
I don't think any of those guys should take any of it personally. The only thing I would say is, I think they should allow Joshua to dictate and control his career how he wants to.
Yeah.
Lennox had his. He made a couple of mistakes. He was fortunate enough to meet a great trainer like Manny Stewart, who turned his career around. I don't know where his career had gone if he hadn't have done that. And even then he still, he lost against Rahman, had to rebuild again. AJ's had one loss. Allow the guy to do things the way he wants to do it first, and if it goes wrong again, it may be, he might need some more advice. But It's just at the moment so far, it was perfect until a few months ago. He's happy with his team. He's still confident with his team. So let's just see where the journey goes.
Fantastic. Before we take a break, there's a huge fight that's happening this weekend. London's very own Anthony Yard. And you know what? My hat goes out. I take my hat off to him that he's travelling all the way to Russia. He took that 25% pay. He could have got more. Apparently they offered him the same amount of money to back out of the fight. He took it, but he didn't take it. He's fighting for the WBO title. What's your prediction? A lot of people are saying Yard knockout.
I hope Yard can do it. It's interesting. About only a couple of hours ago, I spoke to Junior Saba about this fight, and Junior used to train with Tunde, and he's now a coach at my gym. And I was saying to him, if Tunde put that much time into you, and Junior is that good, he's put another period of his life into the Yard, and people should just wish them the best. I mean, I've seen too much negative posts, and they want to. I just don't understand why there's not getting behind Yard. It's what he's doing is it's taken a huge step up.
Of course.
To travel to someone's backyard and go straight for a world title. Give him his dues, man. And Kovalev is the real deal.
Yeah, he is.
I know that he's lost 3 of the last 6, but the company he's been in with is elite level.
Yeah. So
I just wish him the best. I know it's going to be tough, but I hope he does it.
Okay, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Yard can do it. I think he's got the temperament. I think he's got all the skills and attributes to wear someone like Kovalev down. I think Kovalev will be sharp early. He's got he's got a great jab, but I think when Yard starts touching him to the body and starts catching him when he can't react because he's too sharp, I think Kovalev will get worn down and Yard will get the stoppage. But it's a massive job. I think they need to give Yard every credit for what he's done. Like, to go there, to not get your bags, to not have hot water for a night, to be boxing in someone's backyard, you don't know where you're at. I'm sure they're going to give him a bad change room. Like, all these little things will stack up on your comfortability when you usually fight, where it's all down to you. So yeah, it's going to be a massive night, and I really, really want Yard to do it, and I think he will.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. He's got to win, put a bet on him as well. Win some money.
I was going to say that he's been very professional about the mind games that's been going on with the bags missing. Not only all of that out-of-date water being put in his room for May 2018.
The whole year and a bit.
So he said, I'm not drinking that water, I'm buying it from the shop, which is still out of date, but from July. But he's still drinking it. So you know what, he's done really well to do that. And again, to take that massive pay cut, good on him, because it's all about the title, it's not just about the money. So most people maybe would have taken the same amount of money just to back up and let Kovalev fight Canelo and then maybe get your shot. Yeah. But he's done it.
So he wants it. I think he's the real deal. The truth is not trying to get an easy fight to be a champion. He wants to be a legit champion, and I think he'll go on and do well at his weight now, and probably at a weight above as well.
Do you think, obviously they were talking about Canelo Kovalev, do you think if Yard wins, they'll focus on Canelo versus Yard?
No.
You think Canelo won't think this might be an easy fight and he just go up and take it?
I think Canelo wants Kovalev because of what I suggested earlier, that he's lost 3 of his last 6. I think the timing would be right for Canelo. But Canelo v Kovalev, it's an elite level fight. We don't know what level Yard is at yet. So I don't think Canelo will be interested in that at all. I think he'll probably fight maybe Boo Andrade or maybe another Triple G fight. I don't think they'll go for it.
Yeah, I can't see the trilogy happening. I think they don't want it. I don't think De La Hoya wants that fight.
No.
I really...
It's done. There's a bit of interest gone.
Yeah. I want Saunders to fight one of them. They keep avoiding him.
Definitely.
Yeah. What do you think about him going to Matchroom?
It's good.
Was you shocked?
I think the exposure is better. They'll probably get paid more money as well.
Oh yeah,
so
for sure.
I think it's a good look.
Was you shocked when that happened?
No, not at all. Not in boxing. These fighters, 1 minute they would one promoter, next minute they don't like them, and next minute they sign with them. So no, not at all.
I think Billy Joe, he needs the test now, he needs the fights, and I think with Matchroom, he's got more likelihood to get these big fights. So
I want to see the rematch with Eubank though.
I don't want to see it.
I think
it'll be the same outcome.
I think we'd say outcome.
Same outcome.
It was very close the first one. Eubank dropped like 5-6 rounds in a row.
He left it too late.
And then he was winning like 7, 8, 9, 10 straight. It was.
Where is Eubank? Like
that's what I mean.
What is he doing? Just see him on some program like where they're sitting around on a sofa.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's made the same stuff.
Yeah, for sure. The other fight that's going to come up is Triple G fighting for the IBF title against Derevchenko.
Yeah.
What do you think of this? Easy win or tough fight?
Not seeing much of Derevchenko.
I don't think he's on Triple G's level.
No.
I think Triple G needs Canelo. I think he's only interested in Canelo anyway. But I think that he'd lose that fight. I think he'd lose it clearly next time. I think the first fight to me was a draw. Canelo won the second fight to me, and I just think Canelo's younger, fresher. I can't see him keeping up with Canelo this time.
I personally think there's 1-1. I think we deserve a trilogy. I honestly think just by an inch, Triple G won the first fight.
Yeah, it was a close fight.
Yeah, close fight. Canelo for me, won the second fight. We deserve a trilogy for this one. Definitely.
Yeah. I think that's a massive fight still. I just think Triple G needs to get a few more devastating knockouts against some decent guys, and then they'll be saying he's the man to beat Canelo. So let's see how this happens. I think it's a massive fight.
Before we take a break and move on to football, Fury Wilder rematch. Quick prediction.
Wilder.
Fury again because he beat him the first time.
Yeah, Fury.
Wilder. I do like Wilder. I like everything he brings to the table. But Fury's something else. He's a phenom. He's something else.
And he's on form this time. He's fit this time.
Yeah.
You know, I think he was 50% in the first fight.
That's the thing.
And now you're going to see the real Fury.
He fights up Otto Rolden. Well, again, that's not really the best preparation. So I don't know what he's up to. He's
just earning his money. That's the part of the ESPN deal. You know, fight 2 unknown fighters and then go for the big one as well.
Yeah.
Before we go, Kay, quick message for the fans.
Yes. Everyone, thanks for all your support up to this date. On September 7th, I've got a massive fight with Sam Amazing for the English title. I really appreciate you coming out and support me. We want to go into bigger and better things. Shout out to my sponsors, KMT, Bravos, Tiger Bay, Elan and Boards, Phenom Boxing, got a few more.
Strength conditioning.
Robin Pritchard at Fortress Training.
Nutrition.
Shout out to your coach.
Shout out to IQ. I've forgot one.
It's Pro Nutrition, isn't it?
Pro Nutrition. And also facial glazing from Luton. Thanks for that.
Fantastic. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be talking about football because we got football fans in here. Xavier is a Spurs fan.
Yep.
Kay.
United or Luton United. Yeah.
And Santos.
United fan.
Oh God, and I'm a Chelsea fan, and I've got Chiz here in the building. He's got a lot to say because I wasn't here for the Chelsea United match. We'll come back after this break. Welcome back, guys, to the Bells and Whistles show in association with Reginald's Reg 31 and Safer Training Solutions. Your boy Nando, and I'm here with the big man himself, Chiz, and special guests. We got K Prosphere, Xavier Miller, and Santos. We've got a live Premiership game tonight, Aston Villa versus Everton. Chiz, what's going on? What's been happening?
1-0 to Aston Villa. Wesley with his first goal for Aston Villa. Great little play from Yota. Slipped the ball down the middle. First time Wesley shot across the keeper. 1-0. All Aston Villa.
All Aston Villa?
Yep, all Aston Villa.
Oh wow, okay. First win of the season if they win this, right?
Yep.
Fantastic. So let's go through the Premier League games for this weekend. So obviously Everton, Villa playing right now. Tomorrow at 12:30 we've got my Chelsea versus Norwich. Am I confident? I've got to see the lineup first. Obviously we've got to play with Giroud up front. I know I picked up Tammy Abraham at the beginning of the season. I know Jermaine is smiling at home right now, but listen, I think he'll come off the bench and get the winner. 2-1 Chelsea. Guys, what do you think?
Norwich have got the best striker in the league right now.
Javier?
The only team I know about is Tottenham. And I don't even know that much. So.
Santos, what do you think?
No, I think Chelsea will kick on from here. poor performances, so I think this will be the game to set the tone for the rest of the season. Even though I'm not a Chelsea fan.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, I think
Cheers.
so, yeah.
Pookie hat-trick.
Pookie.
Wow. Let's move on. We've got Southampton versus Brighton. Should be a good game.
South Coast Derby.
Yeah, exactly. Shea Adams,
Doing his bit.
he's doing his bit.
Yeah.
Good signing.
Looks
Good signing.
decent, yeah.
I'm a bit confused about Southampton getting rid of such a baller like Lemina. He's on the verge of going Monaco. Has he gone Monaco already? He's in talks.
He's on talks, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they want to get rid of this guy. What's your prediction for this? For me, I think I'm actually going to go for a 3-1 Southampton.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 2-1 Southampton this time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Southampton. I think they look like they've got something in them. They just got to put out of the bag. But I'll be surprised if they lose Lemina because he's a good player.
Santos.
Yeah, I think Southampton, from last week's performance, they'll have the confidence to as well go on from there. So I think a Southampton win,
Okay.
a comfortable win as well. Yeah.
Jag, I want to ask you
I
to
think
get to the...
you're not moving too fast. I'm trying to put some bets on. I'm going with what you lot say.
If you win, I want to cut.
Live right now.
So we got Crystal Palace versus United. Do you know what? Palace haven't started very well this season. Very poor. Can you see Zaha doing something tomorrow? Can he prove to the fans, or prove to everyone else I'm worth 80 million?
I hope not, but yeah, I'm gonna go with 3-1 United.
3-1 United.
Yeah.
Santos, you're a United fan. What do you think?
Yeah, most definitely 3-0 as well.
3-0.
Comfortable win.
Okay.
Yeah, United will get the win, but I don't think it'll be a massive win. I think United are still building their way into it, so I'll go for 2-0 win.
Okay. I think Benteke hat-trick, so... No, I'm joking. I think 2-1 United. 2-1 United. We've got Leicester City versus Sheffield United. Sheffield United, I'm shocked how actually decent they started, yeah. But I think Leicester... do you know what? Chelsea were all over Leicester in the first half. Most of the second half, and then we should have lost that game because they missed some chances, Leicester, at the end. They've got a decent squad. I personally would go with... I actually think we'll draw with this one. I think Leicester will be all over them and then they'll grab a draw, Sheffield United.
2-1 Leicester.
2-1 Leicester?
Yeah, Vardy.
Is that home or away, sorry?
That Leicester at home.
No, I think Leicester, the experience in that squad, I think Leicester would just scrape a 1-0.
1-0, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going Leicester as well. Maybe a 2-1, 2-0.
I've got your draw,
You got my draw, yeah? I saw you smiling. I was thinking,
Push your bet now.
we've got a decent game. West Ham, Watford. I think that's a decent game. Why not?
There's goals in that.
There's goals, exactly. I want to see goals. I don't want a 0-0 match of the day. What's the point?
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
Get a few goals.
I'm actually going to go West Ham win. Will go West Ham win tomorrow.
1-0.
1-0?
Yeah.
You look a bit like...
West Ham are just not good. Come on now. They're not playing well. Watford have got some new signings. They're trying to bring them. I'm going 1-0. I'll stick to my guns.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a draw, but more than one goal each, so probably like 2-2. Yeah, it'll be an open game for me, I think.
I'm going West Ham. I like my man Hernandez. I think he'll grab a couple, maybe a 2-1.
I'm sure one of these teams took a beating the other day. I'm sure it's West Ham.
Yeah, they got Man City. Well, it's Man City.
Yeah, but that's Man City.
Yeah.
That's Man City. I can see that Ukrainian guy coming back and doing something. What's his name? Yarmolenko?
Yarmolenko, yeah.
Yeah, he's back now. He's fully fit. He's a decent player when he's on form as well. The big game of the big game of the weekend, Arsenal versus Liverpool. There's always goals in this game. Always goals. Hopefully 6-0 Liverpool, but I know Jermaine's fuming. I know Jermaine's listening. He's fuming right now. My phone's going to go off in a second. I think 3-1 Liverpool for this one.
I think it's a big test for Arsenal. This is their first big test.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with 3-2 Liverpool. Firmino's get the first goal.
Firmino. I actually think if Pepe starts, he'll score first.
I think he's going to start.
Yeah, Pepe to score first for 3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool definitely win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal pull it out the bag and cause an upset, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm going to be controversial and say Arsenal. I think Liverpool, if a couple of players ain't turning up or didn't turn up, then they're more vulnerable than I think people think. And I think Arsenal, they're building something, and I think Yeah, they might just nick it, maybe a 1 or 2 0.
Okay. Sunday, we've got Man City versus Bournemouth. 4-0. Simple 4-0.
5.
4-5-0. Okay. I can't see them scoring past City, to be honest.
Sterling hat-trick for me.
Yeah, or Aguero hat-trick.
Yeah.
It's about time he's got one. Cheers. 4-5-0?
Yeah, I'm going 5-0.
Yeah, 5-0 for me as well.
Yeah, 4. They might nick 1 goal, but I'd be surprised if they even score. So yeah, 4-1 I'll say.
So Xavier, I'm going to ask you first. It's Newcastle versus Spurs on at St James's Park. Obviously, Newcastle haven't started that well. There was a fact today that they haven't completed a
opposition box. Yeah, I see that.
opposition box.
They haven't completed the path into the opposition's box.
Yeah,
That's a joke.
Who's
That's a joke.
that's crazy.
I'm sorry.
That is crazy.
Tottenham.
What's that manager doing?
Definitely.
How much? What do you think? I don't think it's going to be as easy as people think. You know.
I'd say 3-1.
3-1. Okay.
I have to say Tottenham because obviously Tottenham are a strong side, but Tottenham just ain't up to much, are they really? So they might get 1 or 2, but yeah, Tottenham by 1 goal.
Tottenham at home, isn't it?
No, it's at St James's Park.
Ah, okay, then it's a tough place to go,
Yeah.
regardless of Newcastle's situation and
Yeah.
whatnot. But with all the possession that Tottenham have, they should win it comfortably, in it. So I'll say a Tottenham win.
Tottenham win.
Yeah.
Cheers.
2-0 Spurs.
2-0 Spurs. I think 2-1 Spurs, in my opinion. And then it's Burnley versus Wolves. Oof, exciting game. You know what? Wolves did amazing against Torino in the Europa League. They got such a great squad. They gel together well.
The manager's really good.
The manager, you know what? Future Barcelona, Real Madrid manager, maybe.
Yeah.
For sure. Do you know what? I think Wolves 4-1.
That much.
4-1. Yeah.
Burnley, don't sleep on Burnley though.
I won't sleep on Burnley. The only thing that's making me think it might maybe lower than that is who is he going to play? Because obviously the Europa League, it's 3-2. They got Torino could come back.
Yeah.
It's tight,
Yeah.
but I don't see him resting players that much, to be honest.
No, he won't rest no one.
Yeah.
Coming from a Portuguese background, we don't do no resting, so we just, so we work hard because of it. So yeah, Wolves should win it comfortably as well, even though it's away at Turf Moor, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, another tough place to go, regardless. But yet again, the possession that Wolves will have should be too much for Burnley. Yeah.
Cheers.
I'm going to go with 3-1 Wolves.
3-1 Wolves.
Like second half,
Yeah.
they come out the blocks, and I just knew they were going to score. And they just pressured us, but I'm going 3-1 Wolves.
Snap will go for the same result.
Yeah.
Next up.
So I want to move on. I want to talk about an incident that happened last week. United Wolves. Do you know what? All last season on the Bells and Whistles show, we on our YouTube, we kept talking about this. I kept getting sick of bringing this up, but what I call the cancer of football is racism, and now it's got to the point that if a player is playing bad, he's getting racially abused for this as well, and it is terrible. I think they're not doing enough. Even this whole thing of tackling down the Twitter accounts, and it's not enough, man. It really isn't. I personally believe now you got to do it the Italian way. If one person messes up, everyone messes up. Stadium ban. It's as simple as that. Stadium ban. For example, if that was United fans abusing Pogba, whole Old Trafford empty. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
simple.
like I said on previous shows, you can't keep blaming. We don't know who these fans are because they're not. There's a fake Twitter account all the time. So anyone can just put up a Chelsea badge and start racially abusing Tommy Abraham. But I'm not a Chelsea fan, am I? So I think there needs to be some sort of clamp. I know Twitter's not doing enough, and I personally think that people need to start. If Twitter going to do something, they need to start verifying account passports, things like that, and then at least we know who's doing these. Because
It makes sense.
it makes sense. I know Maguire said it, and a lot of people say, no, you can't do it, but you can. Everyone has an account, you put your passport in or your driver's license, catch these people, name and shame them. That's the only way it's going to stop. That's my feeling. I said it last week. I still stick to that.
And then on top of that, then you could do the ban from the stadium, or even take points off people's teams.
Yeah, exactly. Both. Do both.
But to be fair, if it's done on social platforms, the club shouldn't be held responsible for it when they have nothing to do.
Yeah, it's wrong.
So I'd say only if it was inside the stadium.
Yeah. I think for all like social platforms, it should be a thing where the same way that they're quick when you put up a video that's got some sort of ad or someone's song on, they get detected quickly. There should be some sort of filter when certain words are attached together. That it should be removed straight away, and if you abuse it more than one time, then you get blocked and all of that stuff, and you get deleted from the social app or something. I think that would be a starting point.
I think Twitter said they're going to speak to Pogba and remain like in weeks. That's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. They're not doing enough, and it's getting ridiculous now. Another thing that's been controversial, I knew it was going to happen anyway. VAR.
Yeah.
How do you think VAR's debut in the Premier League has been?
It's been alright for us.
I saw you smiling.
For me, the main thing was, I think VAR's been really good, and they've been picking up all the actual infringements. But for me, it was the handball. Obviously, it's not the VAR; it's the actual rule itself. That was a silly rule. They shouldn't be able to. One team be detrimentally affected by something happening, but the other team can actually gain an advantage. So if I don't know it hits my arm, it shouldn't be. It should just carry on. But VAR's been pretty good.
What do you think, Santos?
I'm against VAR. I'm old school. I like the fact that the referee should handle the game. If something happens, it just brings more excitement into the game. Like, there's been controversial decisions that countries have won World Cups and other teams have won tournaments, and I think this is just part of football. It's part of being a human being as well. That we make errors, so having a machine that decides a goal or whatnot, I'm not with it. I'm not with it at all.
Chiz, what do you think?
I've said from day one I'm a massive fan of VAR. End of the day, all football fans wanted the correct decision made. So
he's saying that until it goes against United. You watch, he's saying that.
No, if it goes against Man United, then it's VAR's there. I'm not going to be I shouldn't have happened, but we know that.
If someone's offside, they're offside.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying if VAR is wrong, I'm saying it's against United. He's going to hate it.
If VAR gets things wrong, like the technology doesn't fall in line, doesn't do up to a standard, then we can start questioning it. But if they see someone's handballed it and it's handball, then you can't really grumble with the correct decision. And that's all it is. You shouldn't be really using human error to try and gain an advantage.
No, shouldn't. No.
But it's a process though, isn't it? VAR is quite new, isn't it? Relatively new.
Yeah.
So it's just going to get better anyway.
Yeah, that's right. It's just people that are stuck in the Stone Ages like Santos.
Some sad news that happened this week and in football. The condolences go to the friends and family of Junior Gogo, who has died at the age of 40. Sad times. Suffered from a stroke 4 years ago and never recovered. So our condolences. More sad news in football as well. 135 years of history could be going down the drain. As Bury going bust. Still haven't found a buyer or anything, and I don't know what's going on with that.
I think it got to midnight.
Yeah.
And then that's
That's
it.
done.
That's crazy.
What team's that?
Bury.
What is that?
I'm sort of Manchester sort of mate.
Yeah, they're in the championship, ain't they?
They've been around for years.
They've been around
135 years.
They're a cornerstone of the game, and it's going to fling them out like they're
It's a shame.
trash.
It's a shame.
They haven't played the game this season, have they?
No, all games cancelled. But this is where the FA should step in. They've got millions in the bank.
Yeah,
just loads of
support the team.
Yeah.
Support the team.
It's worth it.
Get the Glazers to buy it.
Get Ravish to buy it.
No way. More sad news as well. Bolton, more games have been cancelled. Coaches, the manager have resigned.
What is going on there? I don't really
They haven't
understand
been paid.
Bolton.
Is that what it is?
I think it's the players, also the people that work at the stadiums. They've not been paid for months. So like the stewards, the cafeteria people, they've not been paid, and I think the players have had enough and said, look, sort this out. But the chairman keeps rejecting offers. This is where
I'm surprised the likes of like Khan and Sam Allardyce and those kind of people haven't got together to try and buy this club as well. You know, the beloved clubs, the beloved club as well. So yeah, it's sad as well if you know, they go in administration as well.
That'd be a big loss to the league. 'Cause they were a decent one in the Premiership.
Yeah, they're a big club. Everyone knows about them, so you don't see it going down the wayside. Football's supposed to stick together and support each other. And it seems like they just let them go to the drain.
Yeah. There's been a few transfers that's happened this week. So we got Fulham's Rui Fonte has gone to Braga. We got Fiorentina signing Bayern Munich legend Frank Ribery on a free transfer.
Who's that, sorry?
Frank Ribery.
Who's got
Fiorentina.
Okay.
Slimani has gone to Monaco from Leicester.
Great signing.
Daniel Sturridge, I'm very shocked about this, gone to Trabzonspor in Turkey. Very shocked. I thought he would have stayed in England, probably wouldn't win.
His wages, ain't it?
Yeah.
He's going to pay his wages.
I thought he would have gone to America.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Trying to get paid.
He only plays once a year, doesn't he?
And he has a house in America.
That's what
Roma signed Davide Zappacosta on loan from Chelsea.
Who?
Zappacosta. Brescia, the guy has gone home. Balotelli, gone back to Brescia. Balotelli.
Good enough, yeah.
I think he's going to do well there. I
I heard
actually
he took a wage cut as well
to be at home.
When is that guy? When's the last time he played well? He had a good little patch and
He played amazing for Nice. He played good for Marseille last season as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
He's matured. He hasn't done anything bad.
No, I thought his house on fire, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. Napoli have signed a record 40 million deal for Lozano.
Good player.
Where's he come from?
PSV.
PSV. Great signing.
It's going to tear it apart.
Great signing. Lemina from Southampton, as I mentioned earlier, is in talks with Monaco. And the big friendly giant Fraser Foster has returned to Celtic. What else has happened?
Just one more. Remember Renato Sanchez?
Yes.
The prodigy that was going to be the
Hype.
next big thing.
Hype.
He's now left by
Too
Munich for 22.5 million and signed for Lille in France.
He's actually, do you know what? He was a decent player. I think it's due to confidence as well. But he did get hyped a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like badly.
because I've watched the Portuguese league, obviously because I support Sporting about Portugal. I think the move from Benfica to Bayern Munich was too early.
Yeah.
I think he needed just one more season because that was his first season playing senior football at Benfica as well. So yeah, he did score important goals and good goals, especially in the Euro as well.
Yeah.
But I just think he needed just one more season to get seasoned, to just man up a bit before he had that big money move to Bayern Munich. And since then he's gone on loan to Swansea. He came here, didn't do well either. So
Should have come United.
yeah,
Chance.
as well.
Should have.
Yeah, but he would have been a flop.
I don't know. I think
No, but at the time United needed a midfielder,
it fitted perfectly.
and he would have started most games that season, especially under Mourinho as well, both Portuguese and everything. It would have worked perfectly. Him and Pogba in the middle. I don't want to think about that one day.
Yeah. Also, this weekend is the start of Serie A, so I'll just quickly go through the games. Obviously, champions. Juve are away to Parma. They're going to go 2 games without Maurizio Sarri. He's suffering from pneumonia, so he's going to miss 2 games of that.
2 wins.
Yeah, you wish. You wish. Yeah, I think a Juve win will happen with that one. Saturday also, Fiorentina versus Napoli, so Ribery versus Lozano, the 2 new signings. It'll be interesting to see that. We've got Cagliari versus Brescia, so Nyangolan returning back to Cagliari from Inter versus Balotelli. We've got Roma versus Genoa. We've got Sampdoria versus Lazio. We've got Spal at Atalanta as well. Atalanta, who are in the Champions League, have not made a single signing yet.
What?
Not a single signing yet.
Good luck to
So
them.
good luck to them indeed. We've got Torino, who coming off a 3-2 loss to Wolves against Sassuolo, who are on the verge of signing Jovinko.
Are they?
Yeah, they're in talks with Jovinko. We've got Udinese versus Milan. And then we got the start of the Conte era. It's going to be Inter versus Lecce on Monday. Lukaku's debut.
Oh, is he
He's starting apparently.
He's got the weight down there.
He's going to get goals in that league.
Apparently he's lost a bit of weight.
He'll get goals in that league.
Oh,
He'll get goals.
He'll get goals.
He'll definitely get goals. breaking news, Aston Villa just scored a second goal in what minute?
94th minute.
Who just scored?
Couldn't see. I think it's Ghazi. I think he's come off the bench and he's scored.
Okay, I think it's over. So Aston Villa have
2-0,
secured their first win of the season, 2-0 against Everton. 5 minutes to go. Guys, I want to talk again about boxing. There's 2 fights I didn't mention, and I want your perspective on it. The first one is the one that got announced 2 weeks ago, is Robbie Davis Jr. versus Lewis Ritson. Should be a good fight.
I'm interested in that. Obviously, that's my weight class. That's a really good fight because it's 2 polar opposites. Ritson, come forward, strong fighter, and Robbie Davis Jr. slick backwards, back foot fighter who's got skills. So it should really gel. Should be a great fight.
Prediction is where's the fight?
Newcastle.
In Newcastle. So I would say Richardson's presser will probably just get him over there. I think Joe Hughes actually beat Joe Davis Sr., Robbie Davis Jr.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a bruising fight. I think the pressure that they put on him, he kind of can't take it, just about gets through it, but obviously because he's the home fighter, I think Newcastle, Richardson wins that.
Santos, what are you then?
Yeah, I agree totally with K here. That just the home advantage will be very important. 100%. Lewis Ritson going forward, he'll buzz the crowd even more, and coming off that loss as well at home, he'll want to redeem himself as well. So I think he'll do the business. I'm a huge Ritson fan as well, so I think he'll do the business this time. Yeah.
Is it a title eliminator?
I think obviously.
I think he's still got the British.
He relinquished it.
The British?
Yeah.
I think he relinquished his belt because that's why they said it was vacant.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's
I
don't think it's for the British title, but it might be for IBF, Intercontinental straw belt or something like that. I'm not sure.
Xavier, what do you think of this fight?
I think it'd be difficult for Junior to get a decision against Wilson and Newcastle. I think that's going to be the difference. But it should be a really good fight.
The other huge fight, Bells and Whistle Sport, will be live there at the O2 next week, is my current favourite boxer is Lomachenko versus Luke Campbell.
What a fight.
What a fight indeed. And even the undercard is decent as well. You've got Povetkin versus Hughie Fury.
Yeah.
What a fight to fight your first match.
First fight. He's no joke. Povetkin, he's a real deal. He's a well-level fighter. And we haven't really seen Fury step up to the table.
AJ struggled the first 3 rounds with him as well. So, what do you think of that fight? Do you think Hughie can pull it out of the bag?
I think, obviously, talking about Lemma and Luke, I think Luke can have success early, like almost just keep him at bay. But then, as soon as he gets his range and he starts to hit inside and he gets his feet moving, Luke will get touched. But do you know what? Luke's a soldier, so that'd be tough way to last. And I think Povetkin is going to beat Hughie Fury.
Santos, what are you then?
About which one, sorry?
Let's start off with Povetkin.
I think the experience Povetkin's got might just be a bit too much for you. Yeah, especially in the heavyweight division, experience does count as well.
Yeah.
And well, it would be good for Hughie to win.
Because
Because
of course, impressive for his first fight for
it will put him in up there with the elites, I reckon, because I think that's just with the heavyweight, it's just one fight away, like one impressive fight. And if he does win, I can see him fighting Chisora next or something like that.
Yeah.
Good fight.
Yeah.
For me, Hughie should have been world champion. For me, he beat Parker in Manchester. For me, he won that fight.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
I see where you're coming from, but I think it comes with boxing. It's all about perspective, what you like to see and what you don't like to see. And I think that's where the whole judging thing sometimes goes left and right. But yeah, I think Povetkin will win.
Lomar Campbell.
I know Campbell's is a Brit and everything, but Lomachenko is what he does in
the height and range. Luke's got distance on him. He's got a long jab.
No, but his feet.
Do you know how much Lomachenko gets hit? Have you seen his face after some of his fights?
Yeah, but his move.
I'm going for it. Luke's going to stop him. I'm going for it. Really? I'm going to stop him.
Xavier, put a 10 on that. What do you think, Coach? You think Luke can do it?
I think it's a very, very interesting fight.
Yeah.
Because Luke's is tall. I've seen him spar a couple of times. Kay sparred him before.
Yeah.
Sparred him 2 or 3 times. It was very competitive. Luke's a good kid and a good gold medalist. it's just a very good fight. I mean, Lomachenko, he's not my pound for pound number one, but he's definitely within the top 3 or 4 for me.
Who's number one?
Terence Crawford.
You as well?
Yeah, mine is Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Lomachenko. Oh, and actually Canelo. I thought about Canelo. It's
hard,
to say.
isn't
Depends,
it? It's
yeah,
hard
depends.
right now. We're
It's
in
really
an
good.
era right now that it's hard to
Yeah.
pick who pound for pound.
Yeah, I couldn't pick mine. I seriously couldn't.
It's not mixed
Yeah.
up stuff before.
Especially
What about Hugh?
like in
Fury?
order, I couldn't pick. The order, I couldn't pick mine. I just think everyone just needs to fight everyone. Forget about the old, because I think that old Mayweather just made everyone scared to lose the old.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But look at Canelo, he lost it and it made him a better fighter. So
Yeah.
and maybe it might make AJ a better fighter. Losing
Yeah.
that makes get that pressure off his shoulders, because I think Fury and Wilder are thinking about the O too much as well.
Yeah.
Especially Wilder. If you look at his opponents.
Yeah, most definitely.
Ortiz rematch. You better be careful. Ortiz.
I said that. Everyone keeps laughing when I keep saying that. I said that
Yeah,
as
but
well.
at least he's fighting it though.
No,
All the other guys keep making excuses saying, oh, well, he's old. Maybe he's that old and beat him. He's the only one who's actually getting in there with him. Like,
Yeah.
He's dangerous, Ortiz.
I want to see
He's fighting
Dylan White
him.
versus Ortiz.
Yeah, I
I'd
want
like
to see that.
fight because Dylan needs his opportunity. I think
like
a
that
massive
fight.
win like that.
Yeah,
he can push
that's
that.
massive.
Yeah.
That's massive. I hope Dillian can come off this ban and
Yes.
go get a world title shot because I truly believe he deserves it.
He's only on the ban for the WBC, right? He can fight everywhere.
No,
Other
I hope so.
Yeah.
I think
it's all gonna get sorted in the next coming each month. So
I hope so.
let's hope that. You know what I mean? There was just all smoke on the fire.
Yeah. That's all we got for tonight, guys. Guys, thank you for coming on the show.
Really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
us,
Shout out to
man.
Bells and Whistles.
Thank you so much. So follow us on our social media on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and our YouTube page at Bells and Whistles. And you can DM K Prosphere for his fight at the 7th. Hopefully, I want you back here with that belt.
And the new.
And the new.
New.
Hashtag and the new. Guys, that's all we got for tonight. The Bells and Whistles show. Thank you.